All right, welcome back to Prodigy. This is the second strategy video that I am releasing prior to our tournament on January 28th, 2024. It is called the Prodigium Midwinter Cup. And the first strategies video that I did release is a more conservative video of the strategies that I use in a normal round. So I don't like to take too high of risk unless I'm falling behind, which on that last video I did very well. So I kept everything to try to get a 2 or 3 on every hole. But I'm going to show you the hole-in-one strategies and the more difficult strategies, or at least how to get out of difficult situations if you get yourself in those. So I am going to do a more detailed view at the course as opposed to a straight run through as I did last time with no stops. This one's going to have plenty of stops because I know I'm not going to be able to get any of these strategies in the first try, but I am going to show you what they are to see if you can attempt them. Again, if you're falling behind, these are good strategies. If you're not falling behind, they're not the smartest thing to try, but again, I am going to show you. So hole one, here we go. I know that there is a strategy for a hole-in-one on this hole. Over the last couple weeks, I've seen a couple people get it, which is really great, but I think through them attempting it, it could have taken 100 tries for them to get it. So I am going to try to get this. So I'm sure there's going to be cuts because I don't think I'm going to get this first try, but I will show you what that looks like, or at least what the attempt needs to be, or the strategy that has to be implemented in order to do this. So tee position 1 is where we're going to want to start on this, because you do want the highest trajectory to get down here. So last video I was able to get it into this third quadrant and put it in for 2 or 3. I don't remember which one it was, but it wasn't a hole-in-one, that's for sure. So what you're going to want to do is bank it off this wall like I did before, but you're going to want to hit this wall wart. So what we have are, and like I explained in the last video, wall warts, which are these angled pieces that are on the wall. You're going to see them everywhere on the course. They are a pain in the ass, but they're also useful if you want to use them in many ways. And I'm going to show you all the positive ways to use them. So this is the wall wart that you're actually going to want to bank the ball just slightly off the wall. If you hit this wall wart on, from the tee pad off that wall into this, it's just going to bounce into this area and hang out here, which is not a bad situation. But if you want to go for that hole-in-one, you're going to have to bank it off the wall first, hit this wall wart at an angle, and to send it up here, bank it off this right wall and into the cup. So that is the strategy for a hole-in-one on this, and I am going to show you what that looks like. So that is essentially what you want to do. Obviously you want the ball to go in, but it did hit this wall, bounced off this, hit that wall, came over here. But the ideal strategy is to get it in. Let's see if we can do that. And there's another time. The downside to this is if you don't hit this wart and you do hit this, it'll bounce all the way back and head out that way. So you certainly don't want to try this if you don't need to, but let's see if we can still do it. Like, the hardest thing about this strategy is if you hit it too hard, the ball starts going out of control and bounces all over. You hit it too soft and you definitely get the bounce and you get the good aim, but it just kind of goes over here and bounces back. So you have to hit it just hard enough to get up. Once you get up on the green, it's fair. I mean, we've seen a few times it's gone over here, but you just hit it slightly harder and you get that good bounce, but you hit it too hard and it starts bouncing around everywhere. So come on, a little bit harder. Oh, there's a different way of doing it. One wall wart into the other wall wart and up to here, but still didn't go in. So if you do hit this head on, there's just no angle to get it up that way. So that is why you definitely have to bank it off the wall first. So it has to just slightly hit this, roll off, because this is what happens, which this isn't bad. This isn't horrible, but you do have a better possibility of going off this wall to get up to there. Well, that's another strategy, I guess, knocking off this into the wall and up, but it still doesn't work. That was good. Come on. Come on. That's another way to agree. One more try. Come on. Let's go. All right, hole in one, right in the middle. That's, you know, hit it too hard, goes over here, hit it too soft, goes here, hit it way too hard, and it goes all over the place. But that essentially is the hole in one on hole one. Do not attempt it. It's not worth it at all, but if you do want to, that's kind of how you do it. So moving on, hole two. What's cool about hole two is my first strategy video, I showed my normal strategy, which is to bounce off this right wall, fall into this open section here, this cliff, send it down, bank off here and go in, which I actually did in that video. So I figured, well, I'll just do it again just to show you my normal strategy, because it's, I wouldn't say it's not hard, but it's, you know, a little easier than any of the other hole-in-ones on the course. So, but then after that, I will show you the more simple strategies that I didn't go over in the first video. So, all right. So for the hole-in-one, I put it in position one, bank it off that right wall. Again, get it up over that cliff and try to sink it in. So let's see if we can do it here. First try. Nope. And that's what happens. So like, oh, actually, so, okay. Well, that's what happens if it rolls back. Hopefully you hit a wart. This is where warts are sometimes good, because it'll save you from bouncing out. You know, given this is not a good place to be, but if you do hit it and land over here, it's better than rolling off. Sometimes, it depends. But yeah, this is where it sits right now. But yeah, if you don't hit it hard enough, you will hit that top rough and bounce back, or hit that bottom shelf right there and bounce back. So there is a small window, but it is definitely able to be done. So let's keep trying it. So that time, so that is a bad bounce there. So I had it actually pretty good, but instead of hitting this, it actually bounced over this and landed over there, which over here is not the end of the world, because this is actually where you would normally be if you hit it straight anyway. So let's keep trying. And that's that strategy. So I think I did do that in the last video just to show, but again, if you hit it too soft, it's not the end of the world again, because you'll slide in here, you'll go down this chute, and it's an easy putt for two. So that's not horrible either. All right, so that's an opportunity to sit on the green. So now that we haven't hit it too hard and actually just dribbled over that edge, you have a chance to stay on this instead of rolling down, which is a better opportunity than being down here. So let's kind of go over, while we're here, how you approach this sit. So you essentially want to bank it off this wall, hit that, and go in. That's the idea. So what I do is I measure, so the tip of the club, let's just say, you know, if you're around here, so let's say, you know, you want the trajectory about right there, and you want to hit this and roll off there. So you want to hit it about right there. Let's see. There it is. So things do work out if you know what you're doing. So just like in pool, you know, you measure out your angles, you know, halfway, and then your equal angle going this way and that way, hitting off that will go in. So I don't know what else, or how else to explain it, but if you land up here, it's pretty good. It's a good situation to be in. So you can count on two, if not a three. But let's keep going for that hole in one. Again, that. So, you know, I would rather hit it too soft than too hard, given you don't want to roll back, But if you hit it too hard here, you send out that way. But this is a little easier on you than going past there. So that's something you want to keep in mind when you're approaching this strategy. So let's try it again here. Oh, okay. So if you hit it too hard, it rolls over, it goes down here. Again, not the end of the world. There really isn't a bad space to be on this hole, because even here, I think worst case scenario, it's here. At that point, you put it up on the green, you make it in 3. I don't think there's a reason why you should get anything other than 3. But from here, you know, you just kind of bank it up off that back ramp, and you know, you stay up here and you're in for 3. So let's keep trying. I guess what I'm proving here is going for this doesn't have a lot of downsides other than the rollback if you don't hit it too hard. See, there again. You know, that's the 3rd time I've made it in there. So, although I have practiced this a lot. So, okay, let's try one more here. And again. I guess we'll just keep doing this. I'm just proving over and over that going just too soft is not horrible. And there you go. Okay, so it's, what was that, 6, 7 tries, something like that. But in a real game, I find it as a pretty good strategy. There aren't a lot of downsides, but you're always left with a pretty good position. So I don't think there are any other possibilities on this hole. I guess, you know what? I'll just, for shits and giggles here, I'll send it on the right tee position and just go straight up. So there's no disadvantages to this. You just hit it and you just go. Boom. That's that. It lands on the right side or left side, whichever way you're looking at it. And now you're here. Go off that right wall. And easy. 3. So hole 2 is pretty simple in the end. All right, hole 3. So the last video, or the first strategy video, I ended up missing this space here. I ended up hitting this and coming down here. So, and then I ended up hitting off this wall, going into there. I ended up getting a 4 because I misputted the last putt. But this time, I want to show you a couple strategies. So I want to first show you the hole-in-one. So let's see how many it takes to do that. But if you haven't seen the first strategy video, definitely watch it. But I do explain there is a small window here. It's about 6-8 inches, and you want to stay to the right as much as possible because you do get the left turn off this ramp. But if you are going for the hole-in-one, you want to go a little bit harder because you need to get that final roll up that hill. So you have to get enough momentum to get up that green hill. Okay. So I got it in there that time. So that's definitely the strategy. And then you just want to, get it up there. So it is an easy 3, if not 2. But let's keep trying for this hole-in-one. So you do want to hit it hard, not too hard, because if you end up bouncing, you're not going to get a good bounce off that rail going down the ramp. And okay, so that's good that happened, because that's what happens. You hit it too hard, so you're going for that hole-in-one, you hit it hard, it bounces off that wall and comes all the way back. You don't want to be here. I don't think so. But let's just say land here. Let's actually see what happens. So from here, you don't want to go across the mat, so what do? You hit this. There it is. This is angled well enough that no matter what, if you don't hit it too hard, you will end up going up there and coming back down. So it's not horrible. So let's try for that hole-in-one again. Okay. And it's going to roll all the way back. So this fairway is leaned back slightly, so no matter what, you're going to end up down here unless you hit it really light and end up down here. But from here, it's just an easy bank off that. And again, that's another too hard. So let's try this again. I want to show you going off this. There it is. I'll reiterate, this is angled just perfectly that you hit it. It should just do a nice arc over that. But again, it's the speed that's everything. Ooh. So a little bit harder would get it up there. Okay, that was too hard. So yeah, what happens when you hit it too hard? It hits this and bounces off and hits this wall, and then you're gonna end up here. So actually, if you are gonna end up anywhere, you know, hitting it too soft will leave you here, which is great. But even if you hit it too hard, this is not horrible. You'd rather be here than back here. So, you know, you just do that and put it up in. All right, let's keep trying. It's a little cleaner. Ooh, getting there. And almost. Come on, one more. There it is. Perfect timing, perfect speed. I guess the moral of this story is definitely bank it off this back. And you want to get a good trajectory here so that you hit this low, because if you hit this high, you're banking off this and then you will land here. But again, it's not the worst thing ever. And since we are in this area, let's go back to this monstrosity here. This is the vertical labyrinth. This used to be part of hole 15 on the old course. So when I rebuilt 15, when it was time to rebuild 15, I removed this, put it against the wall, and now it's just for fun. This was a time waster on the course. People would take 20 minutes sometimes to get this done and back up the whole course. So I felt like I needed to remove it. So let me just kind of show you how it works here. So I actually have the world record on this. So I think it's unfair because I built it, but 19 seconds is the world record. You can see it on YouTube. I think I'll put a link to that right now, or at least show a little part of it. But essentially, this ball goes in that coupling, and you work it up by using these hooks here, and you send the ball up, avoiding all the bolts, and hopefully try to get it into this hole here. So let me just kind of show you how it works here. Goes in there, grab the hooks, and go up. Going slow is a good thing, but not as fun. So I tend to kind of speed through it. The world record, the 19 seconds, I really fly up it. I want to get it first try here, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful, and I haven't done it in a little while. Excuses. And I have to kind of bend my chest back to get the GoPro to lean up a little bit. So, but I can get it. Slow and steady. This is the hard part. What I tell people is get it right in the middle and just drop it. Drop both hands at the same time. Go right on up. And that easy. And it'll come out here and you're able to keep going. So you can have a little friendly competition with your friends. If, you know, maybe if you get it up there in a minute, you get a point off, whatever you want to use this. Or if there's, you know, backup on the course, feel free to just play this, but it will be here. I'm hoping in 2024 to build a twice as large one of these to the ceiling. That is my hope. So I'm hoping I can make that happen. But essentially, yeah, this is the vertical labyrinth. It's based on a kid's game. So there's a smaller version of this, maybe 2 feet high, that goes on a table that you put a marble in, and you use the strings to work your way up. And I'll show a pic of that as well right here. But yeah, this is based on that. And then also someone told me later on that they saw this kind of the contraption on the show Survivor, and which I never watched, but I checked out the clip and it's pretty close. It's cool, kind of cool. It's not a coupling, but it's more of a flat piece of wood, which I would love to do a mod for this that you can make it even harder, because in my mind this is pretty easy. So I think I could build something a little more difficult. So when I build the bigger one, I might make a couple options for that. So, but yeah, try this one out. And also, I guess I'll show you, you get it in any of these holes, it falls down and it goes down to this gutter and you grab your ball back. So no matter what, you get your ball back. So don't think that it steals it from you. So, all right, heading back, hole 4. Last video, the strategy 1 video, I actually made a mistake, it was good that I showed it to you, but I hit it off this tee pad all the way up here and did not make it all the way up this hill, and it rolled back to here, in which I took this left path. So the left path, you're able to put it up and get it to there, and you can land on this. So check out that video to see that. But I want to show you first what happens if you actually do this correctly. So if you hit it just the right speed, down that right side, sends it up to that side, and you're there. This is best case scenario. And then you got a straight putt to the green. Sometimes it lands over here though. Actually, most of the time it lands like down here. So you don't really have a straight shot. So what you have to do is, like on hole 2, bank it off the back wall and send it up. Something like that. You can get it there. Or I think, let's see if I can do this better. So let's say you land here. Yeah, well, that's a little better, but sometimes you can get it to send it all the way down the alleyway. Let's see. Yeah, something more like that, but even further down here. But yeah, so that way is not too tough. You land up here, you land here, and 3 or 4. A 3 is a little more difficult to get, but it's definitely possible. But today, I would like to show you the hole-in-one strategy, which was newly implemented in December. It's this rough right here. That's how you get up there. So this was built as a troll, this little cliff here. So if you hit it too hard, your ball goes down, and you send it out here, and then you got to restart the hole, or at least from here. So if you're like 3 or 4 putts in, you land off there, you got another 3 or 4 putts back, and you're going to get a 7. So, but let's explore the rough hop. I think this is the first hole that utilizes a rough hop. Yes, it is. So essentially, you want to keep the ball on the ground. So your ball mat for the tee off is off the mat. So you're about like maybe a couple millimeters off. So when you put it off this, it's naturally going to bounce. Not bounce high, but it's going to bounce enough to where you want it by the time it hits this rough that it's flat on the ground. If you're bouncing, it's just not going to work. You're going to hit here and bounce off here, and then your first putt's here, and then you got to try to work some other magic to get around the corner there. But if you can pull it off, which I do not suggest at all in any instance, this is not a good strategy, but I want to show you how it works. I've actually never done a hole-in-one, so I'm hoping I can get this tonight. But what you want to do, so in real golf, or ball golf I should say, or large ball golf, let's call it that, when you place the ball more towards your right foot, you're going to come down on the downstroke, and you're naturally going to hit the ball on a down angle, okay? And same thing with put it on your left foot, you're going to come in and you're going to hit the ball on an up angle. So if you want a more high trajectory on your ball, you put on your left foot. If you want more of a roller or a low hit, you put it on your right foot. So that's just a natural large ball golf way of doing it. So in this instance, you can kind of use the same strategy. You don't want it on your right foot because you don't want the ball to bounce. You want it to be flat. So what I recommend is a little bit to the left, but not only that, but don't keep your putter on the ground. So what you want to do is when you set up, you want to have the ball or have the putter flat on the ground, but lift it up slightly. So when you do hit the ball, it's more of a top hit. So it doesn't lift the ball or slam the ball down. You want to have that even shot that'll eventually keep it flat. And what you actually want to do is hit it about right here, because if you hit it here, it bounces to the right. So if you hit it here, you're not going to get high enough and you're going to bang into that. You want it right here, pop up. Best case, or any case scenario, you'll land here, and that's a good thing. If you get it too far, it rolls back, comes back here, or hit it too soft, it hits here and bounces off. So let's see if I can make this happen. As far as a hole-in-one, I don't know, but this is the hole-in-one strategy. If you can send it up here, hit there, come off here. I don't know if you can actually get the speed for that, but let's see what we can do here. Okay, see, like that was a little too soft, actually. So let's try it a little bit harder. Okay, a little bit harder. Ooh, yeah. There it is. So that was a little too hard, because then you're going to get another rough hop off this. So somehow you have to hit it just hard enough so it hits this and not bounces over. So let's keep trying. So do that. And you got your 2. You put it in for 3. I mean, that's not horrible, but I still want that hole-in-one. There it is. So trying to get the ball to hit a little bit more over here. So I'm going to have to utilize a little bit more right of this rough hop to get it up to hit here, to go along this edge and connect. So I'm getting there. A little too hard, but still, this isn't, I mean, being here in 1 is a pretty good scenario, but come on. Ooh. Oh, come on. Of course. Let's go. Oh. All right, so this took forever. I'm glad it finally is over. I would say of the first 4 holes, the first hole was very difficult to hole in one. So I would rank that, you know, I would say the second most difficult hole to hole in one. But hole 4 so far out of the first 4, by far, without a doubt, the most difficult to hole in one. There's a few reasons. I don't even know how many times. It was about 3.5 hours of doing this. So what happens is you hit this lip and it's all fine and dandy, but this lip creates a spin on the ball because you're hitting it on an angle, and the spin is just perfect that when it hits here, I think it's spiraling this way, and when it hits, it just stays here and holds, or spins over here, or spins here. It is very difficult to hit and make it roll this way. Yeah, I'm gonna put in all the clips of all the close makes, but yeah, this was horrendous. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy, to attempt the hole-in-one. So that is the strategy for the hole-in-one on hole 4. Yeah, so that's the first 4 holes. I will be doing 5 through 9 next. They're a little more tolerable. 5, I've never holed in one, but I think it'll be pretty fun to experiment with that one. So yeah, so we do have a tournament coming up January 28th in 2024, this year actually. And it is $40 to enter, over $1,300 in cash and prizes. So register soon at prodigyminigolf.com or theprodigium.com. And I wish you all well in your strategy making. Come on by, try these strategies out and see what works for you. See you guys.